Hi, this is Bill Watkins. Yesterday, as we were looking into 1 Corinthians chapter 15, I noticed the people to whom Jesus appeared that Paul mentions, but I left out one. And I want you to notice why. It's verses 8 through 10. Paul says, "Then last of all, he was seen by me also as one born out of due time. For I am the least of the apostles, who am not worthy to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. But by the grace of God I am what I am, and his grace toward me was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of God which was with me." Paul says, I'm the one. And talk about humility. When he says, last of all, he was seen by me as one born out of due time, if you go back into the Greek, it means as one aborted. He says everybody else was born again. I was aborted. And why? Because he was unworthy. He says, I am the least of the apostles. I'm not worthy to be called an apostle because I persecuted the church of God. He never forgot what he had done, that he cast them in prison, made them curse God, and cast his vote against them when it came to living or dying. But listen to what he says next. It's not that he's just groveling, because by grace he's found himself. But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace toward me was not in vain, for I labored more abundantly than they all, but not I, but the grace of God that was with me. What is it that made him work? It wasn't his sense of his own unworthiness, and it wasn't certainly his sense of his own greatness, although he was great. He never saw himself that way. He saw himself as the least. But he says the grace of God motivated me to do more than anybody else. Do you know what motivates people? The grace of God motivates you to work harder. Not so much guilt and not so much fear, but the grace of God. Because God loves you. Please him. Please him. We are the objects of his grace. It ought to make us work harder than ever. Thanks so much for watching.